are clear connotations when it comes to postmodern dance and postmodern theater. When one speaks about postmodern performance arts, it is taken to understand that there is no other kind of performance. This is the next point that he moves on to. Okay, so when you look at postmodern theater, now that we have discussed modern European drama, you must have understood how postmodern theater works. Okay, similarly, when you talk about postmodern dance, you must, even though you are not dancers, I'm sure that you must understand the different new developments that have come up in dance, right? So in both of those categories, there are clear connotations of what it means to be postmodern. Okay, but when it comes to the genre of performance art, the other performance arts that exist, there is no clear cut, definition or a clear cut change that has come about. Why? Because performance arts as such, that the term as such has only been used in a postmodern sense. Okay, before that there was theater, there was dance, there was music. Okay, but never was the term performing arts or performance given to it in the sense that we use it today. Okay, so it is taken to understand that performance or performance arts, okay, it's always used in a postmodern sense. Okay, this is owing to the fact that performance arts are considered to be intrinsically postmodern. They are considered to be a postmodern phenomena, and that something like performance arts did not exist before that. We can see that even in popular universities today, you have a degree in performing arts. Okay, that is something that one could not ever think of in the earlier periods. Another issue is the way in which performance has become a trope in the theories of postmodernism. Okay, some performances are seen as a symptom of postmodernism, suggesting that postmodernism precedes performance. Okay, so that again, when we talk about, the author has given us a solution by saying that performance arts is always postmodern. But then again, he is telling us that there is another issue here. It is the fact that usually certain kinds of performances are always seen as postmodern in nature, as symptomatic of postmodernism. That is when you see certain kinds of dance or theater that shows the agony of the human life. Okay, they are seen to be, or they are read to be, as a symptom of postmodernism. And when you see that kind of a performance as a symptom of postmodernism, it automatically means that postmodernism existed before performance. So postmodernism came first, then as a result of postmodernism, performance art came. Okay, this is problematic because, as stated in the work Performance in Postmodern Culture, which is a work by Ben Bennen. I think I forgot the name. I'll just come back to you with the name of the author. Okay, so there was a work called Performance in Postmodern Culture. Okay, in that work, it is stated that performance is the unifying mode of the postmodern. That means it is performance that brings together postmodern. So that means performance precedes postmodern, right? So there are two ways in which you can look at this term postmodern and performance. You can either say that postmodern came first and performance is a result of that, or rather you can look at it in a way that performance came first and performing arts, they imbibed the postmodern came as a result of that. Something like that. All right. So the dominant characteristic of postmodern culture is that everything performs, right? So when we talk about in popular contemporary culture today, we say that nothing is real, everything is a performance. Art is, technologies perform. Okay, even technical things, they are performing. Art is not something that you see in a museum in a frame anymore. Okay, you see performance arts is there. Other than that, art pieces in the museum, sculptures, they are not in the museum anymore. They are not defined by the four walls of the museum anymore. You might even see, if you've gone to the Biennale, you will see how in different and quite postmodern ways art is being defined today. Okay, so literary writings are being read as performances rather than as works of literature. Political and social performances are there in the public sphere. Media is making everything into a performance. All right. So then, can we say that performance is a symptom of postmodernism? Or rather, do we look at, if you look at the title of this text, it says postmodernism and performance. Should we actually look at it as performance and postmodernism? It's not the same. right? So that is the confusion that the author has here. And he says that the idea of performance is being appropriated by various other disciplines also, okay? And from everything, you know, from static art forms to everyday behavior, political demonstrations, terrorism, everything is being given a postmodern turn, okay? And this postmodern turn in various discipline is to view the objects of their study in performance terms. That means rather than looking at everything in a postmodern sense, there are many disciplines that are looking at everything that they study in a performance sense. Okay, so then which comes first is the question. They see discourses as being subject to change, as engaged with audiences rather than all powerful and characterized by processes rather than by products that they generate. Okay, so performance studies as a discipline, it emerged out of this intellectual ferment of, you know, wanting to look at everything in a performance sense of the way, or rather, you know, they view discourses as something not fixed, or rather as something that are engaging with the audiences in a way that, you know, brings about changes. So this is why, you know, this is how performance studies became an entire discipline in itself. Okay, it came from this intellectual thought, okay, or this intellectual brew that was, you know, brewing up all this while. It takes a performance in an expanded sense of a term. Okay, it is not taking performance only as something that is on a stage, but rather in an expanded sense of the term, and it is absorbing aesthetic performances, rituals, secular ceremonies, carnivals, games, sports, etc. Everything is coming into this genre of performance studies. Okay, so it unites the tradition of theater with techniques and approaches from other disciplines like anthropology, history, etc. So the methods that were used in other fields of study like anthropology and history, okay, things that are always taken to be very serious modes of study, are now being incorporated into things like sports, carnivals, and games. You might know people who are doing their PhD theses on food or comics or mobile games. Okay, so everything that we thought of as, you know, serious modes of study is being changed. The way in which we look at the world is being changed. So is it a result of performance studies, or is it a result of postmodernism, is the question that is underlying. All right, so in this brief overview that the author gives us here, he has already given us enough confusion. We have already arrived at a disorienting postmodern juncture, he says. Okay, when we think about aesthetic performances in relationship to postmodernism, the basic critical question is usually, in what sense is a given performance postmodernist? Okay, so when you think of a performance in a postmodern term, what will you think first? That how does this become postmodernist or postmodern, whatever sense you use it? Okay, so Benamo, that was the name of the author who wrote that text that we just mentioned. Okay, he turns this question around, and that's why instead of saying postmodernism and performance, he says that it is performance in postmodernism, and performance is becoming a subordinate term. Rather, he's focusing on performance and postmodernism. Okay, so what the critical questions that are central to his discussion are, in what ways is postmodern culture performative? So rather than saying that is postmodernism influencing performance culture, you are looking at how postmodern culture is performance. Everything performs. Remember that statement that we made. So postmodernism, which seemed initially to be the privileged term, when we talk about binary opposites, the first one is always the privileged term, right? In a similar manner, when we say postmodernism and performance, postmodernism was the privileged term. But when Benamo is turning this around, postmodernism is now becoming the subordinate term. Okay, so what we are looking for, is it the postmodernism in performance or performance in postmodernism? What are we looking for actually? Okay, so even though Benamo looks at performance in postmodernism, our author Auslander here chooses to look at postmodernism in performance. So this was a brief introductory part that he had given to the essay. From here onwards, he is dividing the essay into sub categories, and we will be discussing them in the next video. All right, thank you.